sa biyaya di makidipet. Ngunit ako'y nalungkot sa aking nakita't naranasan. Lupaing alay ni Bathala, inangkin ng ilang gaman. On potok mi ayena di ni makidipet. On potok mi ayena di para di persen. Ayena di para di ore.
The Philippines' 7,107 islands are home to more than 500 indigenous people communities. Indigenous people in the world remain one of the poorest, most excluded, and disadvantaged sectors of society. They continuously face different issues, including discrimination, poverty, and human rights abuse. In response to these challenges, the Philippine government has passed the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, or known as the IPRA of 1997, in which it affirms Indigenous peoples' rights to ancestral domains, self-governance and empowerment, social justice and human rights, and rights to cultural identity. 10 years later, in 2007, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, or the UNDRIP, which provides a framework for the survival, dignity, well-being, and rights of the world's indigenous people.
El tema de territorio hoy son como el alma de los derechos indígenas.
In the Philippines, IPs have been subject to historical discrimination and marginalization from political processes and economic benefit. They often face exclusion, loss of ancestral lands, displacement, pressures, and destruction of traditional ways of life and practices, and also loss of identity and culture.
Mindanao, 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 Mindanao.
Celebration, festivity, culture, tradition, customs, foods, fruits, historical museums, notable landmarks, flamboyant parks, vast seas, and home of different tribes and churches. The land of promise. This is Davao.
The 11 tribes of Davao City, considered to be the Philippines' largest city in terms of land area. Davao City is a sprawling 2,444 square kilometer area and is home to about 1.1 million people based on the 2015 census. Davaoenos, which is how local residents of the city are called, are mostly Visayas. The rest of the population are Lumad, or indigenous people belonging to different ethnic groups. While massive immigration is a continuing trend since the start of the 20th century, Davao City boasts of unity in diversity among the city's population, including the 11 different ethnic groups. While massive immigration is a continuing trend since the start of the 20th century, Davao City boasts of unity in diversity among the city's population, including the 11 ethnic respect to one's culture and traditions. Davaoenos, migrants, Lumads, not to mention ethnic Americans, Chinese, Koreans, Indians, Japanese, Indonesians, and Malaysians in a city that is called to be one of the world's safest cities. Let's get to know these 11 tribes whose colorful and rich culture contributes to a vibrant and interesting metropolis that is. The first tribe is Tausug. The Tausugs dominate over the island of Cebu. They are known as the people of the current and are known for their courage and bravery. Loyalty is an important trait among the Tausug. They practice the ritual of blood compact to signify the depth of their loyalty to one another. They are fierce and dangerous, but the moment one befriends one of them, the bond will be enduring. The second tribe is Tagabawa. Tagabawa means people from the south, and they have been occupying the districts of Marilog, Baguio, Calinan, Tumbok, and Turil in Davao City. Natives who identify themselves as such are called Bagubo. This tribe is said to be the most intelligent of all natives in the Philippines. The Tagabawas occupy the districts of Marilog, Baguio, Calinan, Tumbok, and Turil. The third tribe is Ovo Manobo. The Ovo Manobos are known for their intricate casting, fine weaponry, and jewelry. For them, these things possess souls, as souls also possess animate objects. Ubo oral tradition tells of Apo Sandawa's journey from the north to Davao. Apo Sandawa's point of entry in Davao was at Ulas. From Ulas, Apo Sandawa and his family moved north towards the Talomo Mountains, even reaching Mount Sinaka. Next tribe is Sama. The Sama people value togetherness. They're described as cohesive and peace-loving people. Their forebears are said to possess special powers, having the supernatural ability to invite spirits called jinn to do things for them. Majority of Sama people in Davao City are living in the coastal barangay from Bunawan to Turil. The next tribe is Matigsalog. Matigsalog, or river people, are considered to be the most aboriginal inhabitants of Mindanao, chiefly occupying the Abusan River Valley in Compostela from Malalag to Sarangani and between Quabo and Cape San Agustin. In Davao City, they are mostly located in the hinterlands of Marilog, Marahan, or Pakibako. Their houses are built near the rivers, often on the forks of trees. Next is Maranao. Maranaos are said to have the best traditional clothes out of all Filipino ethnic groups, called the people of the lake. They are brave and historically offered sacrifices in defense of their homeland and to their religion, Islam. They take pride in their rich literature called the Rangin and are known for sophistication in wood and metal crafts like the Torogan, a special house built for Maranao maiden and ochre, an artistic design. Tatajangan. Tlatas occupy a very small territory stretching from Catalunan to Calinan within Davao City. Their traditional population centers included Biao, Tagakpan, Dulian, Sirib, Gunalong, and Tamugan. They are called the forest dwellers. The next tribe is Kagan. The tribe's name was derived from the word Og means whisper. The Kagan people are known as agriculturists, cultivating rice, corn, abaca, and coconut for cash crops. Those who are living near the coast practice fishing. They are Taga-Kaulo who have converted to Islam either through intermarriage or contact with the Maguindanao. Tirano. They are regarded as the fiercest pirates in the Humalang region, adopting a typical maritime lifestyle of sea invaders. They attack merchant shipping and coastal settlements in the Philippines, the Strait of Malacca, and the islands beyond Sulawesi. This day, they are known as fishermen and long-distance traders. The last tribe is Atak. The Ataks, or dwellers in highlands, are powerful people who appear to be a mixture of Negritos and Malans. As occupants of the headwaters of Davao, Tuganay, and Libugan rivers, the Ataks depend primarily on hunting as their livelihood. Ataks are also known for being sensitive and vindictive, but can be easily pacified if handled with utmost diplomacy.
Good day, this is Ryan J.A. Magulor from Mahayag National High School. In this juncture, we will discuss about IPs for Peace and Development Program in Mindanao. Indigenous people in Mindanao build a program which is Peace and Development for the Empowerment of the IP Women's for the Restoration and Protection of the Environment. The nation address of our President Rodrigo Duterte. We should remember him saying, for the indigenous people of Mindanao, the government has gave wide ancestral domain to build an active IP youth participation in nation building. For dignified and genuine IP leadership, they should implement projects with the help of LGUs to enhance their skills and to showcase it, especially their culture. Lastly, as a Filipinos, we ought to understand and help realize the aspirations of the indigenous people.
The Mahayag National High School faculty and staff, together with the school in charge, Mr. Nick Bihamicola, also supports the indigenous people in the community. The Araling Panlipunan Department, together with Kabataang Pangarap ni Rizal or Caparis Club, conducted yearly peace symposium in which the main objective is to bring awareness about the life and situation of the indigenous people in the society. Culture and language were the identity cards of the indigenous people, giving them the opportunity to have their own life. Their heritage and spiritual values enabled them to resist the colonialism that existed today. Indigenous people must not give up, but defend their sacred life on earth.
Mayang buntag, ako si Mahabok Luis Ilambak Senior, Chairman sa Ancestral Domain Management Office sa Tribong Ubumanubok. Among ikasulti ning COVID-19, aduna kami kultura kinaiya nga mahadlok ining maong sakit. Tungod sa kay sa una, naay gitawag na mog uyon. Ang uyon sa una, bisag mga mananap hayop, mga matay, labi ng tao. Kay naay sakit sa amo ang kining gitawag na mo abas o mga sakit nga posibleng mutakod. Amo ginang palayuan ng maong tao kay dili mi gustong matakdan. Pag-abot ining COVID-19, siyempre naandan na mo nga balaka, mahadlok, matakdan. Ang among mga katribo nag-adtog bukid, nagpahimo sa panahon tungod sa quarantine sa COVID, nagkagalas, nakauma tungod sa kahadlok sa COVID-19. O ang among mga katigulangan kaniya, aduna sila itambal sa kining gitawag na mong abas. Doon namin pamaagi, no? Kaugalingon o pamaagi sa pagtambal. Nya karon kining mga tribo, naagid na sila pamaagi sa pagpugong sa maong sakit. Ang pamaagi sa tribo, nag-adtog mga farmland nila karon dito nagpuyo, dito nag-uma. Kay di man sila kalakaw-lakaw. Ang ilang pamilya dito sila sa mga uma nila. So nalipay po may mga leader sa mga tribo. Kaya ang tribo dili na sila lisod pasabton. Kaya daghan na sila kaagi nga mga sakit nga nanglabay sa among mga pinabuhi na naprotektahan na po pinaagi sa paningkamot sa tribo. Kauban din ako diri ang among kaabag sa pagbantay sa kinaiyahan diri sa among mga protected area sulod sa ancestral domain sa tribong Ubumanobo. Doon na kami na organize nga bantay bukid nga magbantay sa kinaiyahan, magbantay sa kabukiran nga walay panamas-tamas ining nabiling lasang di tabangan gyud mi na makalihok alang sa among tribal governance, self-determination para ang tribo makadungog, makabarog, makakita po sa ilang sariling paningkamot. Akong giawhag ang tribong Ubumanobo ug katong ubang mga katawhan maningkamot gyud ta makatabang ta sa kagamhanan nga madepensaan nato ang atong katawhan pinaagi sa paglikay. Kung unsa tong balaod nga gipatuman sa atong gobyerno, ato gyud tumanon kay mao nay makahatag og kanang paglikay sa sakit nga matakdan ta. Kay kung di ta magtuman ana, muratag nag-ikog, muratag nagpakamatay. Kaya ang sakit di makita, dili na ito masibawan kung kano sa mga abot.
Karapatan ko ang makapag-aral sa pamamaraang makabuluhan sa aking kultura at pamayanan.
Karapatan kong mag-aral para sa aking mga pangarap.
Karapatan kong matutunan ang sarili kong kultura.
Karapatan kong ipagtanggol ang aming lupaing ninuno.
Karapatan kong palagaan ang akin katutubong kaalaman.
Anong gusto ng mga magulang din sa kanilang mga anak? Gusto nila makatapos yung mga bata sa pag-aaral at makatapak o makasabay sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon.
Suminagad ang paman, susuminagad pagabi dilayan. Palupad padupang yok, ima din na punduton dilayan. Bakino sa mundo to, nalansayod sa alan dilayan. Kalulian na bugisan, dilayan,
mas inuuna ko po yung pananaw naming bilang IP. Siya yung gabay na susundan ng mga bata papunta sa concept naman ng mainstream o ng DepEd.
Hindi pwedeng yung kulong yung eskwelahan dahil sa kapag kulong siya, mas nalilimit yung kanilang pag-iisip.
Kalulian na bugisan, dilayan.
Tayo para yung nagtatago o yung humahawak ng napakalaking aklat. Dahil ang aklat natin ay ang mundo. Binabasa natin ang buwat, ang hangin, ang ulap. Napakalaking libro.
kung ano gano'n po rin po kahalaga ang IPL at iisa ang tindig namin. Yan na mismo yung daluyan para maibalik at maisaayos yung ancestral domain.
Sisimulan natin ngayon, kaya. Kung tayo'y magkakaisa, kaya. Go Education, kayang-kaya.
Tayo na't maging bahagi sa bagong siglo ng kasaysayan ng edukasyon. Tayo na't maging bahagi ng tagumpay.